Welcome to On This Day, where we look back at the moments that made history, one day at a time. From major world events to the weird and unexpected, every date has a story. So, what happened on 14th of July? Let's find out. July 14th is one of the most symbolic dates in world history. It's a day that marks revolution, celebration, defiance, and occasionally disaster. From massive political shifts to pop culture premieres, this day is anything but ordinary. Whether you're waving a flag in Paris, studying a physics equation, or just curious about what came before today, July 14th is packed with powerful moments. Let's start in 1789, when revolution swept through France and the storming of the Bastille prison became the flashpoint. This wasn't just the start of the French Revolution. It was a bold message that the old order was crumbling. Bastille Day is now France's national holiday, symbolizing liberty, equality, and fraternity. It's one of the most celebrated revolutions in history, and it all began on this very day. Fast forward to 1965, when NASA's Mariner 4 spacecraft flew by Mars and sent back the first ever close-up photos of another planet. They weren't flashy, mostly barren, cratered landscape, but they were history-making. It was the first time humanity had seen another world up close, and it marked a new era in planetary exploration. In 1881, outlaw Billy the Kid met his end in a darkened room in Fort Sumner, New Mexico. He was shot and killed by Sheriff Pat Garrett. Depending on who you ask, Billy was either a folk hero or a cold-blooded criminal. Either way, his legend only grew after that final shot was fired. July 14th, 1933, brought a chilling development in Germany. The Nazi Party officially became the only legal political party in the country. It was a major step in Adolf Hitler's consolidation of power, silencing dissent and paving the way for the regime's terrifying control over German society. On a brighter note, in 1969, the Apollo 11 crew was preparing for a mission that would change everything. Just 5 days later, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin would walk on the moon. But July 14th, that was the day they were packed, suited, and counting down to liftoff. The moon was about to become part of human history. In 2000, a young tennis player named Venus Williams won her first Wimbledon singles title. She defeated Lindsay Davenport and became the second African-American woman to win Wimbledon, after Althea Gibson. It was a triumph of power, grace, and years of hard work, and it marked the rise of a true legend in women's sports. Also on this day in 1958, Iraq's monarchy was overthrown in a bloody military coup. King Faisal II was executed, and Iraq was declared a republic. The shift completely changed the political landscape of the Middle East and kicked off decades of upheaval, conflict, and change. Love discovering what happened on this day in history? Hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. In 1967, The Who released The Who Sell Out. And it wasn't just an album, it was a full-blown concept. It mimicked a pirate radio station, complete with fake ads and jingles. The sound was playful, the satire was sharp, and it helped define the rebellious vibe of British rock at the time. In 1911, aviation pioneer Harry Atwood flew his biplane from Boston to Washington, D.C., landing on the White House lawn. He was greeted by President Taft himself. It was one of the earliest examples of how airplanes could connect cities and make headlines doing it. Back in 1853, the first World's Fair held in the United States opened in New York City's Crystal Palace. It was meant to showcase American innovation and creativity, and it put inventions like the sewing machine and Colt revolver in the spotlight. It was the 19th century version of going viral. Jump to 2016, and we saw a moment of horror in Nice, France. A truck was deliberately driven through a crowd celebrating Bastille Day, killing 86 people and injuring hundreds. It was a tragic reminder of how moments of joy can be shattered by violence. But it also showed how communities rally together in the face of terror. In 1946, Dr. Spock's famous book, The Common Sense Book of Baby and Child Care, was published. It quickly became one of the most influential parenting books of all time, encouraging parents to trust themselves and be more flexible. Millions of families around the world were shaped by his philosophy. Let's jump to 1977 when the Love Boat aired its first pilot. Yep, before it became a kitschy cruise ship staple in the late 70s and 80s, it was tested out on this day. Who knew that goofy romances on the high seas would become a global TV phenomenon? And finally, in 2015, NASA's New Horizons spacecraft made its historic flyby of Pluto. After traveling over 9 years and 3 billion miles, it sent back breathtaking images of the dwarf planet. Icy mountains, a heart-shaped plain, and all. It was a moment of wonder that proved space exploration still has plenty of magic left. That's what happened on 14th of July throughout history. Made it this far? Drop your favorite historical fact in the comments. Learn something new? Hit subscribe and come back tomorrow. You never know what the past has in store.